When no one's around, do you genuinely like who you are? Have you built up your perception of yourself from the way other people treat you? How many times has nostalgia led you back to a toxic relationship? Are you truly free, or are you just decorating your cage called life? How often do you dare to step out of your comfort zone? Can you find joy in solitude, or do you need others to feel whole? When was the last time you truly challenged a belief you've held for years? Do you settle for good enough because great feels too risky? Is there some situation in your life that keeps repeating itself because you refuse to admit its lesson? What's the biggest lie you've convinced yourself is true? Do you constantly do what others expect of you? Do you make permanent decisions based on temporary emotions? Do your social media posts reflect the real you, or a version you want people to see? How often do you measure your worth by someone else's achievements instead of your own progress? Do you often avoid saying no because you can't carry the guilt that follows? Are you waiting for someone to change, or just stuck in a cycle of endless chances? What could you let go of today to make space for something better? Could the constant fear of making mistakes be your biggest mistake? If your self-talk was a person, would they be a friend worth keeping? Why do you prioritize those who vanish when you need them most? How much longer will you plan a new life without actually living it? Are your daily actions building your future or sabotaging it? Do you always do what's right, even if it's the hardest one to do? Is your constant busyness true productivity, or just an escape from reality? Do you see change as growth, or as a threat to the comfort of your past? Are you surrounded by someone who constantly hurts you? How often do you accept advice that reflects others' fears rather than your own truth? How many apologies are stuck behind the wall of your pride? Are you really grateful for the present moment, or only when life wakes you up? Can you see the goodness in others, or do flaws obscure it all? How many times have you allowed someone to treat you poorly just because being alone felt scarier? Are you really eating to nourish your body and mind, or to escape reality? How much of you is shaped by others, and how much is your authentic self? How often do you genuinely listen to understand, not just to reply? Are you willing to risk being wrong to discover something new? Would you be okay with your financial situation if it stayed exactly the same for the next 10 years? How seriously do you take your promises, knowing they might mean everything to someone counting on you? Are you sticking to your younger self's expectations, or embracing who you are now? Are you sacrificing what you want most for what you want right now? Do you think before you speak, or let your thoughts spill out unchecked? Who would you be without your job, possessions, or status? How many times have you settled for good enough in love, fearing great is out of reach? How many challenges have you overcome that you once thought would break you? Are you using your skills to earn passive income or just trading your time for money? Do you set goals that stretch you or just ones that you know you can reach? Are you willing to walk away from love if it means keeping your self-respect? Are you nourishing your body with the care it deserves, or are you expecting it to perform despite neglect? Are you holding on to anger towards your parents or ready to let go for your own peace? How many hours of sleep did you sacrifice last week, and for what? How has social media affected your sense of self and your relationships? Would you be proud of your health and fitness if you saw it in someone else? Do you recognize each victory over fear, or do doubts overshadow your wins? Do you spend more time impressing others or improving yourself? Is failure a lesson for you or a reason to give up? How often do you ask yourself, is this all there is? How many unnecessary purchases have stopped you from achieving financial freedom? When was the last time you truly unplugged from technology? What childhood pain do you still carry into your adult life? Do you trust your intuition, or are you swept along by the crowd? What's your most ambitious goal, and what's stopping you from starting now? If your life was a book, would people want to read it? Are you creating or just consuming what others produce? Are you building a career or just earning a paycheck? Do you love others in ways they need or just in ways that are easy for you? How many arguments are truly worth winning if they cost genuine connection? Are you shaping a legacy or just getting through each day? When was the last time you did something just because it scared you? Are you searching for purpose outside while overlooking the answers that have been within you all along? What's the one thing you wish you'd done differently? Do you have a plan, or are you drifting without direction? Do you see your spending habits as freedom or a form of slavery? Are social platforms a tool for you or a distraction? Do you design your life or just react to whatever happens? Do you see life as a series of problems to solve or as opportunities to seize? How many dreams have you postponed, thinking there'll be a better time? Do you react defensively to criticism or respond thoughtfully? Do obstacles feel like dead ends or stepping stones to you? How often do you let fear of the unknown hold you back from something life-changing? Do you believe you can transform yourself into the person you really want to be? What would you be doing right now if you weren't afraid of being judged?